Hey guys, I'm just doing a card reading today. I have lots of different decks here, but I'm feeling a little bit more, I feel like there's a message for a business. So I'm gonna have a look what that message is. I really enjoyed the last video that I did on this, but it was a love reading. But yeah, today I'm feeling business and new ideas coming through. It feels fresh and new, and you've probably been in the business for a while. And I feel like you've been feeling stuck and stagnant and stressed, and I feel like it's been pulling you down a little bit. Like it's hindering your confidence and your freedom rather than building and like supporting you. But that doesn't mean it's not gonna work. I'm just saying that like that's the energy you've been in. Maybe you've been on a journey of figuring out what are your blocks and what is your mindset around this. What is your beliefs that are not supporting your business. So then you can help your business thrive. And I do feel like this new spark energy is going to come in soon, and it's going to really just almost like ignite the fire that was there in the beginning, and it's just going to make you feel so much happier, and I feel like you're going to feel so much more supported. But you really need to work on getting rid of your fears and beliefs that are not serving you. You have a lot of self-doubt and you feel guilty about your business taking up too much of your time. So let's say, for example, this is just an example. Let's say, for example, if you're a family person and then you want to start doing some sort of influencing, and when you go out to different places, you're taking time out to just take a few pictures here and there. You like it's almost like feeling like that, but not wanting to do that because you feel guilty for taking out them 2 little minutes to just take a simple picture or to just upload that post, and you feel like every single thing you do has to be what on earth, I can't say that word, dedicated, that there you go, to your family, and your previous priorities and things like that. So there's this guilty feeling and feeling like you have to present yourself in a certain role, but you need to find balance, because you have to remember that what type of person you are, and that, let's say again, for example, if you are trying to take 2 minutes to just go take the picture, then that doesn't make you a bad parent or friend or whatever it is. It's just that you have a passion, and just let go of that guilty feeling around it. Just I bet the people around you that are on the day out probably felt inspired by seeing you so happy about this picture. And yeah, so let go of your, it feels like a lot of your own beliefs and fears is what is holding you back. I don't think it's anything external that's holding you back. I don't think it's anything from like past lives, like anything like that. I genuinely feel like it's your fears and your lack of what is the word? I don't think confidence. I think it's just I don't know the right word. Anyways, but yeah, so I feel like your self-esteem maybe is really like right now is you have a lot of negative thoughts about yourself and you're letting them be like almost like God. So like the universe and God loves us unconditionally. Like there's nothing we can do that will ever like hit that, like the universe or God will ever be like, yeah, no, you're not being a part of me right now like anymore, and you need to like be banished or whatever it is. I don't know, but I feel like you're putting a lot of negative thoughts and words and beliefs on yourself. Like your beliefs right now are ruling you, and you're almost giving them authority over you when it's just a belief, it's just a thought. It doesn't need to be real, it doesn't need to be true. Just because you're thinking it doesn't mean that that's what is your truth. So you can change that, you can reframe it and make it suit you more. You don't need to stay in this situation. And I do believe that it will change. Let's see what else comes up. I do believe it will change. I feel like you've probably gone through a really stagnant and sad time recently. Like a lot of growth, but through a lot of struggle. And I feel like it's gonna change. I feel like again balance is coming up. You need to learn to balance and be okay with balancing your business and work life and your home and family life, like friendships and things like that. You need to let that guilt go, and you need to be able to like feel empowered by your business and not feel like you're doing something bad for taking that time out to build that for yourself. And you're gonna start to feel really uplifted, and like once you get in the hang of it and once you get the balance, it's gonna start to feel like, I just got chills, like it's gonna feel like empowering and exciting. And when you shift into that type of energy, you're gonna start to naturally resonate with more higher frequencies, and these beautiful energies will come in, like inspiration and new ideas for the business, and you know, ideas that are you're going to be able to play out because you're not going to be in that frequency. You've probably had plenty of ideas before, but because you're in the mindset of like, I'm not good enough, or I should only be being like a mom, I shouldn't really be thinking of anything else, then you're almost like not seeing it. Like here, like she doesn't realize that she's actually got the key to unlock the door that she's trapped herself in. So she's keeping herself trapped, where it's like the ideas would be coming to you, all of this light, these downloads will be coming to you, but you don't see it because you're in your negative thoughts and that headspace of just like, oh my god, this is what I'm meant to be doing, the belief of I'm meant to be being a parent right now. And I keep saying that because that's what it feels like. Or maybe it's like I'm meant to be doing school, or I'm meant to be doing this like job and not my own business, whatever it is. However you resonate with it, it just feels like the story that you feel like you are, that you've been telling yourself and you've lived your whole life. This is you here, and when this inspiration comes down, you don't take action on it because you're so clouded by your own like story you've been telling yourself. when you finally remove that story and start to embrace the balance of using, you know, your family life, your business life, or this job and your new career, your new business that you're going to be starting or already have started, you're going to feel more freedom, like embracing this freedom of like letting your wings like actually like expand rather than holding yourself in and just keeping your wings like tucked in and like, you know, trying to keep it in this old version of you. It's almost like you're forcing yourself into this little suit that you don't fit in anymore, and then you finally break out of that and you start to fill out more of your wings, and you're just like, yeah, I feel like I can expand more now, I feel like I can let in new ideas. I feel like just happier and just more content and more supported and more like joy. I feel like so much joy is coming. And again, like just more warrior energy, like, yeah, I can do this, like I can be a mom, or I can be, you know, a friend or whatever it is. I can be this, but I can also put time and effort and my energy into this new venture in my business. I feel like for the most part, the business, you've been doing it for a long time, but I don't feel like you've been living as you have a successful business for a long time, if that makes sense. I feel like you haven't got the recognition from that business. Or for the other part of you guys, it'll be more, it's like a new business, and you're in a job and you're not really sure, you don't really want to start this. Maybe you've had it for a hobby for a little while and, you know, you really want to turn this into a business. I feel like your life is going to almost be kind of more romanticized now. You're going to start living your life more in an enjoyable way, and not like that'll attract like more positive people and more positive love into your life and things like that. I don't see like this card as like, oh, a new partner's on the way. It could be, you know, you are going to attract more positive love and people, like friendships and things like that, maybe partners into your life with this new energy. But for me, this card right now feels more like before you was keeping yourself so stuck in that old story, and it just didn't feel very exciting and expanding. It was just kind of felt like on autopilot, and you was trying to do the best you could, which was amazing. You did do amazing, but I just feel like this chapter of your life is going to feel like more it was meant to be. Like things feel more magical and things feel like more you're actually making memories, like real memories that you're enjoying, not just because you're meant to be doing these things because other people do this, or, you know, things like that. I feel like you're meant to be like romanticizing your life. Like just like the little things just are gonna feel really good, rather than before kind of getting up and doing the same mundane routine. Even if you do go out on adventures like with your family and things like that, you're not going to be there truly present in the moment. You're going to be trying to still fit into this old like version of you. You're going to still be feeling guilty, you're going to still be doing this, you're going to still be doing that. Whereas this version just feels so much more free, and it feels so much more inspired by everything. They want to do more adventures, and just the little things in life feel really, really amazing. So yeah, stop and smell the flowers. Stop and enjoy the scenery, like enjoy the little things in your life, because I feel like this is going to be a really positive like shift and a really positive chapter of your life. So let's have a look if there's anything else that we need to know to help you with this shift, or, you know, if you're still in the part where you're still in your negative mindset or feelings, or them emotions are still, you know, really getting to you, and them overwhelming thoughts are getting to you, then what can we do to help you shift through this? It's all about support. It's all about, actually, I don't want to just give you the message of, oh yeah, it's going to be fine and then this is going to happen. No, what's going to help you? Because it's shit. Like, I've struggled with anxiety on and off my whole life, and oh my god, every time it comes back, I feel like, oh, I thought I got rid of it. But it always seems to just pop back up and torture me. And I've been getting it really, really, really intense recently. So I'm here with you. I know what it's like. I will say, have I got them cards here? Yeah, I have here. Let's have a look at these cards. I will say, support from family and friends, just kind of them knowing what you need in that time. Like, I like a lot of space. I'm definitely like the hermit, I think came up before. I'm definitely that type of person. I need space because I feel so suffocated by my anxiety that I just need space from everyone and everything. So letting your family or friends know that you're suffering with anxiety right now, or whatever it is, I'm not trying to push this onto you, but whatever it is, and then explaining to them like what you could receive from them that would help them, whether that's just like, can you just stay on the phone for a little bit because I'm a little bit stressed and I'm a bit in my head right now and I just needed a little distraction, or whether that's space, or can we go out for a walk in nature for a little bit and get out of the house, or whatever it is. If you explain to them what will help you in that moment, because sometimes everyone needs different things when they're in these moments. So sometimes when you're suffering, they want to help but they don't know how you would need the help. So maybe just explaining to them and being strong enough to open up and explain, this is what I need right now. I know that can seem really daunting, but you know, if they're the right people around you, they really will support you with that as much as they possibly can. And also, I would say getting into a positive routine. Like in the morning, I've been putting on Abraham Hicks Rampage. I've been doing this because Abraham Hicks's voice just feels, it makes me feel positive, and it settles me, and it makes me feel safe, and just like, yeah, I can do anything. So I feel like her Rampage like videos really help me. So I do that every single morning, first thing in the morning. That's the thing I listen to before my, like, to try and stop these thoughts. So rather than doing it halfway through the day when the thoughts have already gained so much momentum, I put it on first thing in the morning. Maybe you could journal or write gratitude lists or whatever it is. I haven't been doing that, but I've done that in the past and it really does work. But for me right now, the putting that thing on in the morning is just, it's really helped me shift a lot. Yoga really helps me. I did a little bit of that today. I've not been pushing myself to force myself, you have to do this every single day, like I usually would try and make myself do, but just being really graceful with myself and just being like, okay, I feel like I'm gonna do this today. There's a gazillion plants over there on the table that I've repotted today. I have multiple different plants of the same plants that I've combined together to try and make my days like less stressful, and I have over 100 plants, so it's like, that's just inside, and then outside I have a whole freaking garden that I need to tend to, and then kids, and then my business, and then myself, and you know, again, see how I put myself last in the list. Like I've tried to do productive things that will make my everyday a little easier. So I've combined all of the plants as much as I can, so that's less watering I have to do. I have gotten, like, I've gotten all of, like, Isabella's stuff ready for nursery and my son's stuff ready for school, so I feel prepared. I've written everything down in my diary so I can feel like I'm not checking every 2 seconds that I'm gonna forget something and panicking about it. Like, I've done productive things to try and help me set up for success, really. You know, I've put Isabella in nursery more often to give myself a break, which I would never have given myself permission to do that before, but I'm realizing that I'm allowed more help than I would normally accept, and I'm trying to do more productive things for myself, and not just everyone else. So I don't know what your life looks like, but try and implement something that just lightens your load a little bit. Even if it's like, I don't know, like getting your clothes out before bed, so then the next day it's just off your mind. Like, if that's something that would stress you out, or like doing a whole week's food shop, so you don't have to keep thinking, oh, what do I have to make for tea tonight? What do I have to make for everyone tonight? Like, I hate that. So like doing that, and then making like set meals for each day, like like writing a list of what we're having each day, so you don't have to think about it. Maybe that will really help. But yeah, so your intuition. So intuition came out, and I feel like you've been having a nudge of intuition that you need to change things. Like, there's something that just needs to change, and you've been trying to tell yourself that it's not this, and or maybe it is that, but I'm not changing it. Like, whatever it is, you're not listening to your intuition, you're not taking action. But you need to trust yourself, trust your intuition, and really allow your intuition to help you, rather than you just making yourself struggle more. Using your hands also came up. Using your hands and aromatherapy. So, smells, oh my god, I can't even deal. It was back in, I don't even remember when it was, I think it was last year or the year before, when I was working a lot with the Octavians. They actually taught me a lot about our DNA and how smells can really help us in so many ways, and I was like, wow, I didn't know that. So basically, a while ago I got I got told I was OCD, which I'd kind of known anyway, but I started to really struggle with it again when all of this anxiety started up really bad again. And the thing that helped me, I remembered the Octavian saying, like, you know, like about smells and stuff. The thing that helps me is if I'm feeling like in that chaotic stress, oh my god, everything, like I'm starting to feel like I can't breathe and I need to clean, like the something that's not right, so I need to fix it and I need to clean. If I can feel that starting to come on, I will spray the room with like a disinfectant or like a cleaning thing, whatever it is that just smells nice, or put a scented candle on. And I know these things can be, you know, it has chemicals in it and they can be bad for you, and spiritual people don't like it, but honestly it's better than having an anxiety attack or a panic attack. So I just don't care. Like, okay, maybe not very good to inhale a scented candle, but I'd rather that than have a panic attack. So I would do that, and then the smell of that nice nice like clean smell, it feels like that would calm me down. Like, that would make me feel more comfortable and more like, okay, I can breathe, I can smell it, like it feels like it's clean now because it smells nice. So yeah, like smelling different things, it sets off you know, like a hormone in our brain, and it changes things. It really does help. So working with different smells is going to really help. Maybe try herbs. We can use essential oils and incense sticks and, sage and candles or whatever. But as a planty person myself, I would suggest to maybe grow a few herbs. I just started growing lavender, and all my days the smell of it, like I just want to sit and just hold my plant of lavender and just sniff it all the time, and I probably look like a crazy person to my neighbours, but it just smells so amazing. And I didn't think I'd like the smell of lavender, but that's because it was the smell of lavender in the shops, which were like not really lavender, it's kind of just a chemical lavender, whereas the actual plant lavender smells so freaking amazing. So yeah, it really helps. Or maybe smell mint, like grow mint on your kitchen window and just the smell of it. Anyways, I'm going on a whole rant about smelling things. And then yeah, use your hands. So also recently I've tried pottery for the first time, like she's doing here. I tried it and I made little incense holders for my friends and my partner and myself, and just as little gifts, because I'm trying to do things physically, so I'm not sitting here and listening to all of these negative beliefs and thoughts in my head, and I'm just trying to channel it into something more positive. So really doing that will really benefit you. And just let go of life. So let go of life a little bit more. Don't feel like you have to control everything. Let go and just go with the flow a little bit more. I know that you've probably been through some things that makes you feel like you can't really trust the universe or God or whatever it is, and you feel like you have to kind of micromanage the universe. But just letting go and surrendering and just having a little bit more faith that things are going to work out. You have to give that energy of faith in exchange before you get the positive results, because it's manifestation, it's not going to ever happen if you don't believe it. And also rest. So when we're taking out all of this time for ourselves, don't always fill it with, getting your hands dirty. Don't always fill it with gardening like I did, or don't always fill it with helping other people or taking a bath. Like, it's amazing to do all of them things, but you also really just need to fill that time with doing absolutely nothing and resting. Because even though sometimes when we have anxiety, our mind doesn't shut up and it's hard to rest because, our brain doesn't stop, but sometimes we just need to let it play out. Because if we're trying to avoid and ignore all of the stuff going on, then you're going to get to the point where you physically can't rest, because you're going to be so panicked every time you sit down and rest that you're going to feel like you're going to have an anxiety attack, and that's not good. So really let this shift happen and do it gradually. You don't have to go in full speed, but just try and allow yourself to have a little bit more time for yourself and to not feel guilty about it. Try and balance your life out a little bit more on your terms and not just for everyone else. And yeah, that's about it for this reading. It really feels like every time I go through something in my personal life, it feels like it's always a way to help other people with my experience. So I've just been through something and I'm currently going through something so similar. Not the same in a lot of ways, but so similar, where it just feels like I can share my experiences and then help you guys to not feel so alone, and help you guys feel like you can also get through it and you can also see a positive result out of it. So yeah, I hope you guys feel good. I hope you feel empowered and excited for the future, because things are shifting, things are changing, and they are for the better. And I want you guys to feel empowered and like you guys can overcome this. So thanks for watching. I enjoyed channeling for you guys, and I will see you in the next video.